What's some goals that you're looking to hit over the next couple years? Where do you want things to go?
You know, I love what I'm doing. I love my brokerage. I love the growth I'm seeing. We're looking at some growth trajectories, opening more rural offices. Expanding a little bit. I love that sort of aspect of the business. The more I get into the management side, the more I love the like actual internal management stuff and learning how to grow regions and stuff like that. If anybody paid attention, I opened an office in Lancaster like a year and a half ago, and we went from like 3 to 40 agents, and it was like 90 days. So we went from the like eighth or ninth largest brokerage in Lancaster to the second largest, and in no time. So I'm loving this growth thing. I'm loving Keys growing. We're bringing on new management. I'm training with that, so that's fun. But I'm growing my life as well. My wife and I are getting ready to launch a podcast too, so we're getting into some lifestyle changes. My mother-in-law was diagnosed with breast cancer and almost lost her life, and my father died from cancer, and it really opened our eyes to it's some crazy statistic of like only 10% of your genetics determine the diseases that you get in life. The other 90% is what you ingest in your body, what you are putting in your body, what you're eating, mainly. And so that kind of led us down this journey of we bought a farm recently, and we're trying to I don't want to let the cat out of the bag before my wife and I launched the podcast and stuff, but we're going down a pretty cool little like holistic, organic, health route. And it's pretty cool little journey, little side hustle thing that we got going on. But I'm in this for the long haul. I want to see agents succeed. I want to see our community succeed. And I want to take a minute to shift the focus off of me and shift it onto you, John, and give you um, a big thanks for the work you've done inside our community in Central Ohio. I mirror it very similar to Katie at Real Producers. She marries a lot of people in just relationships, and she's bringing us all together as a community. And as much as I have a 3-year-old and 4-year-old and would love to be on Clubhouse, I think you noticed I jump on there like every once in a while. I'm like, oh, the kids are still sleeping, let me jump on. But know, what you're doing with the Clubhouse stuff and just the community and Facebook and bringing us together, because it drives me nuts when agents and or brokerages feel like this is a competition, because or one or another is their competition. We're not. We're a community, and we should look at it that way. We are a community of people that should be supporting each other 100% of the time. I see no enemies. I see no competition in this business. I see community, and I wish there was more of that. And kudos to you for trying to bring that to our community. You and Katie take it to a whole nother level. Yeah, I had to say that. So thank you.
Well, it's one of those things that there are people out there in our industry that do want to help each other get better. When I first got into the business, it was no one was willing to share. And at least that's what it seemed like, right? Like, I was at Keller Williams Consultants, one of the bigger offices at the time, probably still is one of the bigger offices overall locally. And
Yeah.
it just felt like, other than, some people here and there that you talk to, but there wasn't anyone really sharing listing presentations, or there wasn't anyone talking about, hey, I was able to get this deal done because of X, Y, and Z, and really going, deep diving into some of those things. But then at the same time, at the other end of that sentence was, oh, new agents are terrible and they're ruining our industry, or part-time agents are ruining our industry. We need to figure out a way, how do we level up the industry just so that we all can get better, right? But no one was willing, it seemed to me, was willing to ever do anything. So it's really, and this can be applied to your guys' business, and with your clients, past clients, SOI and whatever. Uh, the number one thing that you be doing in a community and finding who those people are, right? And that's all I did. And obviously, I always tell people it's not just me; it's everyone else, right? Because everyone else had to buy into it and to show up and to continue to show
Yeah.
up and to continue to give, right? And most importantly, to be transparent in where they're failing, right? Because if we all just talked about, hey, this is all gravy and this is all great, the reality is no one's showing up just for that, right? They
Mhm.
want to hear about the struggles, because I always tell people, like, if you're selling one house or you sell 500 homes, we're all going through the same shit. It's all the same shit. It's
It's
just
all,
it's just a
all
it's
every
a
bit of
little
it.
different. It's a little different. It's maybe at a higher scale, but it's the same stuff. It's the anxiety, it's the stress, it's the depression, it's the drinking and the drugs, and I always say it's sex, drugs, and real estate, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
it's all of that stuff, and we all go through, right? And that's what the community is. So, look, I appreciate you jumping on when you can,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
doing what you're doing too. So, Aaron, I
Well,
got
a
two
little
two
nugget
final
here.
questions for you. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, so, this is a quick nugget. Is like, Gary Vee gets asked all the time, why do you give out all this free content? And he's like, because 95% of the people won't execute. And but it's that 5% that do, by giving that free information. And he was the king of, like, talking about failures, falling on his face and growing and giving away free information. And that's what I equate that to. Like, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to marry that community, give that information. And for those who want to come along with the ride, great. Like, that 5% that wants to be here, because that's the reality. About 5% of our market is doing all the business. So take what you can, leave the rest. Like you said, you only got to be good at a couple things.
Yeah, yeah. Aaron, two final questions for you. What's a legacy goal for you? What's a goal that you want to hit when you're no longer here?
I want my kids to continue to talk about me when I'm gone. I'm not taking anything with them. I want my kids to remember me as present, as a leader, as someone that they looked up to and left a mark on this world. I don't feel like I'm even close to finishing what I'm here for on this earth. I feel like I have a lot left to do, and my legacy is just for they say you die twice. Okay, you die when you actually pass away, and then you die when people stop talking about you.
Yeah,
um, and for me, that's something that I try to live out in my father's life. I talk about him often. I bring him up often because I don't want him to die again in my life, and he was a big impact in my life, and I want my kids to feel the same way about me. That's the legacy. It's nothing to do with real estate. It's nothing to do with anything crazy. Like, I just want my kids to say, man, my dad was always there. He always had advice. He was always trying to help. um, that's what I want. That's it. Something simple.